Hi Brian, hope you're well. Just want to start with team news as always. Any updates from the squad from last week?
Yeah, Claire's Wheeler been sick, so she's in the building today. Need to see where she's at. Melissa Lawley had a little kick in earlier in the week, but back on the pitch today. So it's to see. Those are the two that we don't know. Rest looks fine. Of course, Luna is unfortunately out for probably the rest of the season with that surgery. So that's a little of a blow to us, but no, the rest are fine.
Yeah, thank you. And I suppose Palace next, and they're a team that are obviously fighting to stay in the WSL. What's it like when you come up against a team that are fighting to be in that position?
Yeah, I think it's like all other games. Like we need to be well prepared. We need to understand the threats and try to neutralize them, and we need to be at our best and also have the match them in energy and in fight. So I expect like a tough game, and then they will of course, like they were probably thrown a lifeboat last weekend. So so they also know if they can go and do the same tomorrow. They will be in a good place for the last 5 games into the season. So we know it's gonna be tough, but we prepared good this week and had good trainings, and we we're ready to take them on.
And what changes have you seen since Leif came in and took over from Laura?
I think a bit more playing to their strengths in terms of like defending as a unit, but also like attacking and finding the moments to attack. So I think that's the like the biggest change. Like they still have good footballers in that team. Like actually, if you look at the squad, it's 25 of very good players. I know they have some injuries here recently, but like they brought in like a lot in the summer. They brought in a lot in here in the winter also. So I think they have a very competitive squad. It's just for some reason haven't got it to click. But if you see at other teams in the league, also us in the fall, we were also struggling in periods and so on. So it's gonna be excited to see how it plays out in the last 6 games. But we wanna make sure that we don't need to look down and win that game tomorrow. That's for sure our aim.
If you had a magic ball, would you predict that Palace would stay in the WSL? Do you think they will?
That's really hard to say. I think they have it in their hands in terms of playing Leicester and West Ham later on, of course, depending on how the others. But also see the top, like that's very, very tight, and they also need points, so they can't afford to slip, right? So I don't know. Like it's gonna be very hard to say, but I think they have the tools to do it, as the other teams also have. So I think it's who gets it right on the day, and we'll see.
I just want to ask about some news that came out this week. The introduction of a new 7v7 sort of mini-series tournament within the women's game. Firstly, is that a competition that Everton would be interested in playing? Would you want to be taking part in that?
I saw it in the news. I really haven't thought about if we should be a part of it. But if it doesn't put further demands on some players and like it's in a period where players are available and can do it, I don't see the harm in promoting the women's game even more. But if we are in or not, I haven't thought about that at all.
I suppose on the flip side of obviously having investment in the game is a great thing, but let's say Chelsea were to win it, it could be £2.5 million that come to that club. It's a lot of money. What does that do for a club like Everton, who obviously are in a different stage in terms of that investment phase than Chelsea?
Yeah, I think £2.5 million that will be good for all clubs, even even Chelsea also. So yeah, but yeah, let's see. I think the tournament is probably made for bigger teams than us. I think that's the intentions, but we'll see.
Yeah, I should say I think it's dollars, not pounds, but yeah. It's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, Emma, and we'll go to Ian next from Radio Merseyside, please.
Hi, Brian. Just some other news from the club this week was that Alan McTavish is leaving his role. I just wonder what your reaction to that is, and how, if at all, it sort of impacts on you and the players in the short term.
Yeah, I think we all loved Alan and worked really well with him and so on. So, but again, you have new owners coming in, and you need to respect their vision and what they wanna do. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Alan will go another place and get a good job. He's I personally really liked him, and he was always supportive in everything I was asking for. So I wish him all the best. That's for sure. And yeah, of course, those are the things that will happen when you have new ownership. They see the things in different ways, and I'm also very excited for the future and what to come. And yeah, I'm sure they will say something when the new plans are gonna find the person who's gonna come in. But for now, we still have a good organization, and it's not that we are left without any support or anything. We're in a good place.
Yeah, and just back on the field, I know you've spoken a lot about Kelly Dargo's form. You must be delighted. 4 goals since you came to the club in January, and what a huge bonus that's been for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, because that was one of the areas we've been lacking in. So it's been good. Also, Tony gets her first here against Arsenal, and I think Katja has been looking sharp, and Honno, who plays a bit further. If we attack with those 3, the fourth one to join the next attack is probably Honno, and she's also been quite sharp. So no, it's good to have players that can do a difference.
Yeah, and shame in a way if Claire's got a bit of illness, because you've just got her back and she played the last half an hour or so the other night. Otherwise, pleased to have her back and hopeful that she'll be able to play a part now between now and the end of the season. Yeah.
It's just, I think she'll be in tomorrow for the game. It's just how much she's able to play. We'll see. Had training today. It's just normal sickness, so nothing worrying there. But we have a very competitive squad now, so have good players that can come in and fill that role.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian, and we'll go to Dan from WSL Full Time next, please.
Morning, Brian. Hope you're well.
Good,
just the one from me. You talked about Tony's goal there. Obviously it feels like it's been a long time coming. I suppose kind of how's that relationship between her and Kelly kind of forming, and do you feel like that's going to kind of really gather pace now the more games that they play together?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've already seen Tony assisting for 3 of Kelly's goals or something like that. So they work together every day, and we're trying to utilize the strengths and also like the understanding. I think Katja is a very big part of that also, because he's good at connecting with them and so on. So no, it's, as I said earlier on, we just need games in terms of being better and growing. Of course, we had some tough games here lately with Arsenal and Chelsea, but before that, we played teams around us and looked really, really good. Where early in January it was a draw against Villa and a loss against West Ham, but we were so early in our with a lot of new players, so we're a bit further ahead now, and I think the Arsenal and Chelsea game also matured us. We're really looking forward to playing tomorrow against a team maybe in more in our level as a whole.
That's brilliant. That's all from me, Brian. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Dan, and we'll go to Emily at Liverpool Echo, please.
Hi, Brian. I'm really sorry, first of all, if there's a bit of background noise. Train delays meant I had to be a bit creative with my location this morning.
No, it's fine.
Just one question from me. You already touched on it a little bit. Crystal Palace kind of got a bit of a lifeboat last weekend. If they do get a result this weekend, it would put them just 4 points behind you. So I guess, does that add a bit of extra pressure? Like, how important is it to get the result to put a definitive end to any sort of like lingering relegation fears?
No, it's really important, and we know that also. But again, it's 90 minutes of football, and everything can happen in terms of we could be very dominant, and they find two right moments to hurt us on, and we're hitting the post, or vice versa. Like it's 90 minutes of football, and we just need to make sure that we are sharp, ready, and display our best, our best self. And then I think we'll see in 6 rounds where we all are at. But I'm very confident in the squad we have at the minute that we haven't gotten our last 3 points of this season.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily, and we'll end things there. Thanks as always for joining, guys. Thank you.